Guys, I look fucking crazy right now because, and let me tell you, this is crazy. This is like a channeling happening right now. As I'm doing my makeup, getting ready for the day, I have a bridal dress fitting. I get married in 5 weeks and my dress has come in and I have to go get it fitted. Anyway, I'm sitting here doing my makeup, getting ready for the day, listening to a reading, and all of a sudden, like, I start feeling really, now I need to go to the toilet. 1 second. Okay, so I'm sitting here getting ready and I'm literally just like getting channeled vibes. Okay, I don't know yet what the channeling is, but like, and I get this like excitement urge, like spirits, like my hair. I haven't even done my hair yet because I do my makeup first, then I do my hair. I look crazy, but fucking here we go. Whatever, I'm going with it because this is obviously what spirit wants. Okay, so I'm getting like such information around and it's interesting because this doesn't feel like it's part of my collective, the collective I'm a part of, but it's not necessarily from what I am experiencing or the changes that I am making, the upgrades and the actions that I have taken that are impacting me in a certain way. Like, it's not, but this is Spirit's telling me it doesn't matter, just talk about it, share it. So essentially it is coming from my fiance's. It's like I'm channeling my fiance's collective. Now, the collectives are aligned, but the spiritual work or the personal spiritual lessons or I went to say something else and lessons came out. Okay, so the spiritual lessons that have come through or that are being experienced right now are same but different. Spirit's saying same but different. Okay, so I will get his permission before I share this. I'm not going to go into like grave details, but the way that it's coming through is like Spirit's like highlighting, okay, what George is going through, what George's changes that he's just made, and Spirit specifically wants to talk about the impact that those changes and actions that have just been taken have been the impacts that have happened as a result. Okay, so there is, and I've said this for a couple of days to my fiance. I've said, you seem so, he's been coming home from work. So, okay, essentially we've been going through some like personal stuff, not together, but together. Like, it's not due to us individually, it's due to external, like third party influences, right? And not third party in the sense of like a previous partner or anything like that. I mean, third party in the sense of it's not coming from us or our shit. Like, the problems are being caused by other people, other situations outside of us. And the ways in which we have been called to show up personally and together is outside of what we have yet done. Now, for context, I am 27 turning 28. Okay, so going into my Saturn return. My fiance is 26 turning 27. So his Saturn return is like a year and a half, 2 years off. But being spiritually aligned, I've always noticed this pattern. And astrologically speaking, our charts are a mirror of each other's, because I'm a Leo rising, he's an Aquarius rising. If you know anything about astrology, you know that Leo and Aquarius are the sister signs. They are sister signs. Okay. Now, so it's like the inversion of each other. Very twin flame energy, whatever, like, you know, soulmate, if you subscribe to whatever belief you subscribe to. But for us, whatever it is, I've learned to like not put a label to it, and I've just learned to roll with whatever comes up. So that's what I'm doing now. And so I've said to him the last couple of days, like, he's come home in a great mood. He's listening to, like, he's found new songs that are like boosting him up. He's just been super high vibrational, and I've noticed, and I'm like, this is so different and strange that this bullshit that we've been experiencing that has been thrown our way, we have navigated as a unit. And even though that's still lingering, right, it's still there, it still exists, the bullshit, the stress, the family fights, that's what it is. 5 weeks until the wedding, we are just in such a high vibe place, and specifically him. And this is very different for him. He's usually someone who withdraws, someone who goes within, someone who processes internally, but it may sort of like cause him to shut down. Like, that has been his coping mechanism. And this time, this situation called for him to actually stand up and take action in a way that set really strong, hard boundaries. And he's never had to do that before in this way. And it has changed the game. So now that you have the context, if that sounds like you or someone you know or someone you're connected to, especially off the tail end of these eclipses, tune into this message. I'm sorry that it's taken me so long to like get into it, but I had to give the relevant context, okay? So it has changed the game. And he has come home from work every single day, like the last week, and I have just said, like, he's like, oh, I don't know why, like, I'm in such a good mood, like, even after a huge, like, 10-hour day at work. Like, he's just started a new job, and it's a lot, you know. We've been dealing with this shit in our lives happening whilst, you know, he's been adjusting to a new job. Like, it literally, this thing blew up the day that he was due to, like, the day of his, like, the first day of his new job. So, you know, and just throughout all of this, he's like, I'm just, like, in such a good mood. Like, I'm feeling good despite, like, what's going on. I'm just feeling good. I'm feeling light. I'm feeling free. And I'm like, you seem empowered. You seem so empowered. He's so funny. He just texted me. He's at work by himself today. And, he's in charge of, like, setting up stock, and he's just, like, he sent me a video of, like, a Snapchat of him, like, he's one of the bosses, so he can do this, but he sent me a video of him on Snapchat. He's put on his new favorite song that he's come home, just, like, you know, the high vibe song. He's put it through the work speakers because it's just him in there, and he's got it blasting, and he's getting work done, and he just sent me a photo or video of what he's just done, and he's just so proud of it. So there's this energy of, like, empowerment, right? Whoever I'm speaking to, whatever, you know, if this is you, or maybe you're watching because you're like, oh, this is my partner, or this is my brother or my sister or my friend, like, let me watch. There's this energy of, like, empowerment. And I've said to him, so babe, like, you just seem so empowered, like, even in the face of what we've been experiencing and what you've had to do, what you've been called to, you know, you've been called to set these hard boundaries and have these hard conversations and deal with this stress put on you by other people, by family members that you love and thought, you know, cared about you the way that you cared about them. And instead of being, it's hurtful, but instead of being bogged down by that, he's empowered. It's almost like nothing, this energy of, like, nothing can touch him from this space because he has stepped into his power. So you are stepping into your power. You have stepped into your power, and huge shifts are happening as a result internally. And these internal shifts that are happening are going to be reflected to you externally. Okay? It's funny, I always channel when I'm doing things with my hands. It's crazy. So some of you may have had a situation with family members or friends leading up to something really important for you. Really important and exciting for you. And it's actually completely, it's happened and come up completely left field. It's something that you wouldn't have expected. And in the past, maybe to deal with it, maybe you would have felt, or maybe you would have reacted in a way that, you know, non-reacting, okay? Not reacting, running away from the problem, ignoring it until it blows over, shoving it under the mat, under the rug, because you didn't see, you were disempowered. You didn't see a way out. Setting a boundary in this situation, in this type of situation, would have been an impossible concept, an impossible feat. If Spirit would have told you before now, okay, this is going to happen and you're going to need to do this, and this is what you're going to do, you're going to be like, no, I'm not. It's just so much easier to ignore it. And this ignoring wasn't coming from a place of avoidance. It was avoidance coming from a place of coping for safety. It was coming from a place of trying to protect your safety. And there is nothing wrong with that. However, for you personally, it's like that way of coping has become redundant. It's no longer something that you can do anymore. Like it no longer serves you. It no longer serves you. And so naturally you are at this crossroads, right? You're at this crossroads where Spirit has, and your guides and your higher self really has been, and like all of these experiences leading up to this, like this, if this is something that's happened with a family member for you, like a parent or just a family member, who this energy that's of what's happened, right, has been lingering for some time. It's been following you throughout your whole life, okay? And it's just gotten worse and worse and worse. And you've been at this crossroads now where something has happened. They've imposed this situation, this energy, this fight, this confrontation, whatever it is, onto you. And it's surrounding a situation, or the circumstances around it maybe involve someone or something that is very important to you. And it's like, oh no. It's like, I don't play about my family. I don't play about my partner. I don't play about my friends. I don't play about my career. I don't play about my hobby. I don't play about my passion. This is important to me. I'm setting a boundary. And if you cross that boundary, like this, it's like they've this is where you draw the line. Spirit has shown you and is saying, yes, you got the message. This is where you draw the line. And I'm feeling like some of you may, now that you've drawn that line and you've opened up this abundance and you've opened up this empowering energy, it's like some of you are like, I could have and should have done this years ago. If it was that easy, and Spirit's saying, don't think like that, because you wouldn't have been able to make that choice sooner. It's happened now, with the situation and the circumstances that it's happened with, because you are ready, because you are able. And it's also like this pressure cooker as well. Spirit's showing me like a pressure cooker where it's like forcing the situation to happen because of what's next for you, because of what you have to achieve next, because of what you're trying to achieve, because of what you are meant to achieve next. Spirit's like, it had to happen now. It couldn't happen a minute earlier or a minute later. It had to happen now, and you passed the test. Not the test given by the universe, the test given by your soul. You passed it with flying colors. And you know you passed it because you feel empowered. You may still feel scared. You may still feel apprehensive. You may still want to run away and hide from it. That's normal. And your reactions to it, to the conflict, to the drama, to the tests, to the stress, is very natural. And your reaction to that is determined by, you know, your lived experience. Like personally, for all of you, it's each of you, it's going to be different. But what comes next required you to learn how to do this. And Spirit's telling me the test was around your biggest burden. Your biggest looming, overarching burden in your life. You had to learn to set that boundary and put that burden down. Because if you couldn't do it around this, you don't know how to hold, love, protect, and nurture what is to come. What is meant for you. That feels huge to me. If you did not face this, if you did not do this, set this boundary, cut this person off, let this burden go, you would not have been able to handle, to hold, to nurture, to love and protect what is next for you. I'm hearing too that what is next for you won't feel like a threat because of what you have just endured and what you have learnt, the boundaries you have learnt to set, okay? This next stage of your life that you're walking into, this next commitment that you are about to make, just this next life. So a lot of you, if you're resonating with this message, you guys are about to like, this is tied to the readings I've done this week, talking about milestones. You're about to embark on a huge milestone. If this reading is for you, this is a milestone that you are already aware of. Some of you, it's like moving out of home for the first time. It's bittersweet. You're letting something go in order to welcome something new. So for a lot of you, you've had to leave your hometown in order to move to the place that you've always wanted to move or live, right? Bittersweet. You're saying goodbye, you're closing one chapter to welcome another. And this is voluntary. So it's hard. It's a hard thing, but it's needed. You could not, wow, okay. Some of you as well could be like starting a new commitment. Some of you could be getting married and getting engaged, buying a house, whatever. This new commitment that you are about to make, that you are aware of, some of you could not, I'm seeing spiritually, the universe is like, you can't have this burdensome connection to this thing or person if you want, and then walk into this connection with this person or this thing that you want. This is a choice. This is an obligation. You had to sever that. You had to be the one to sever the energetic ties that were holding you hostage. For a lot of you, you cannot put your all into what comes next, what you're about to do next, until you sever this thing's energy. It's like it's had too much of a hold on you, and you cannot. It's like you can't. It's like an energy of like you can't have your cake and eat it too, but it's not in the traditional sense. It's like, okay, Spirit said you can't, you have to finish what's on your plate before you get to the next plate. It's something like that. It's like you have this like open-ended thing. It's like you can't just leave that where it is, because it's going to interfere. It's going to cause trouble into this next connection, into this next, there's something about interference. And this next thing that you are about to embark on, the next contract you're about to sign, both spiritually and physically, it's like Spirit is literally telling me this is too serious. It's too good. It's too meant for you. It's your life path. North Node in the 7th house energy. Doesn't have to be, but for some of you might have that, or you might have astrological aspects to that. Okay? And Spirit's literally saying, you can't. This is too serious. It's not something that you can't just ignore that and leave it be and hope that it dies off. This is too serious, and this demands your presence. This demands this new thing that you're about to walk into demands respect. It demands your commitment. And you're being asked to commit to it. I just fucked up that eyeliner. You're being asked to commit to it fully. And part of committing to it fully is letting this old thing go. Putting this old thing to rest once and for all. Setting this new boundary. Because this new thing, this new part of your life, this new contract, it literally, I'm hearing it literally cannot thrive. And it's meant to only thrive. It's meant to only help you grow. It's meant to only thrive. It will sabotage it. And it needs to be taken seriously. Sorry, I just have to fix this eyeliner, and I really don't want to edit this video. So if you're into makeup, keep watching. Or if you're just here for the reading, just skip forward or put it on fast or something. Adjustments needed to be made. And it hasn't been easy. It hasn't been easy. And you didn't think it would be, but you're actually quite amazed at how easy it was. So you're like, oh, why didn't I just do this sooner? It's because the stakes weren't high enough. So what comes next? You tell me. What comes next? Now that you're free, now that you have freedom, now that you're no longer bound. And even if this relationship with this person, this old thing, whatever it was that you had to let go of or put in its place or set a new boundary or rework or even just walk away from completely, whatever that was for you, even if you may not have seen how it may not have directly impacted your like other areas of life. Like it may have just directly impacted one area of life for you. However, the impact that it had on you, because it had access to your energy that it should not have had access to, that impacts the way that you interact in the world, the decisions you make. It's impacted everything. So it may not have been directly leaking into everything, but it affects you, which then affects everything else. So this is why it's such a big deal, because this is like an overarching, like, I'm seeing, I don't really know anything about Coraline, but I'm seeing Coraline. And I'm seeing Coraline's mother. I don't know, maybe some of you who are familiar with like the dynamic between Coraline and the mother, the second mother, or the false mother with the button eyes, I don't know. Something about that. It's control. It had way too much control over your life. You didn't have control over your life. Even if you were an autonomous being, living on your own, making your own decisions, you still didn't have that control over your life, because this thing was still steering the ship, because it had impacted and influenced all of your decisions in ways that you didn't even know about. I'm hearing the reckoning, like this is the reckoning. I'm hearing The Reckoning by Hailstorm. It's a song. I Am the Reckoning. Look it up if you haven't heard it. Maybe the lyrics will resonate with you or make sense to you in your situation. Some of you might be wondering, okay, so what is next? If this is such a big deal, what is next? Where it's like, I don't know, you tell me. This is your life. What do you want? Some of you haven't even really been in a position where you have been able to dream that much because of the control that you've had in your life. I'm just going to say it now. I'm uncomfortable saying this, but I feel guided to. Some of you, like, okay, for a lot of you, I'm dealing with, okay, Spirit, help me deliver this message, please. I'm dealing with sons, and the thing you're letting go of is the mother. Some of you may be cutting the mother out. Some of you may not be, but some of you have had to set really strong boundaries with the mother, because the mother has had too much control and interference, and you're seeing that now. You're literally seeing the effects. And for a lot of you, it was very covert in the way that this energy and the way that your mother or the mother, however that applies to you, it could be a grandmother even. It doesn't have to be the mother. It could be stepmother, grandmother, actual mother, foster mother, adopted mother. The mother archetype in general, okay? The way that, like, some of you are actually seeing now firsthand because of these boundaries you've set, it's like the glasses have come off. The control is lifted because you've set this boundary. For a lot of you, your mothers or the mother, I'm just going to say the mother, has gone way too far and has really just like manipulated everything. And you're seeing her manipulation. There's a lot of lies, deception, and betrayal of you as a result, hiding behind love. And some of you are just like at the mother's every beck and call. And this is how the mother has trained you. And you're shedding that. You're shedding that responsibility, that burden, that obligation, and you are now deciding for yourself what responsibilities in life you have. You are choosing. For the first time, you are choosing, and you are empowered because you have chosen yourself. You have chosen what's important to you, and you've stood by that. I feel that so fucking powerfully, like so powerfully. Like your life is about to change before your eyes. You're gonna have so much freedom. You're not gonna know what to do with it. And that's the beauty. Spirit's saying, yes, I touched on the fact that it could be sons. It could also be daughters. It also doesn't, if it's daughters, it's more likely to be the mother, but also the father. Spirit's saying, don't put parameters on it. If it's resonating, it's resonating, regardless of the archetype, whether it's the mother archetype or the father archetype. Because, okay, Spirit's saying, because it could even be like, because the energy is the control, right? It's the control that you're shedding. It's just so weird that I'm like, full doing a fucking channeled reading whilst I'm doing my makeup. But hey, a message is a message. And if it's coming through, it's coming through. That's annoying. So if the sun is watching this and you have no interest in makeup, I am sorry. I hope that this message still resonated anyway, or you found some sort of value in it. But I think that's the reading. I think that's all Spirit wants you to know right now. They're saying put a pin in it. There will be more. Okay, there will be more. Before we go, I'm going to add a little bit of blush. But Spirit is, let's just recap quickly. Spirit saying, yeah, you're empowered. What do you want to do with that empowerment? Bask in it for a moment. Make sure that you celebrate it. Spirit saying, make sure you celebrate this empowerment. Make sure you celebrate. And this is, okay, whoa, we're not done. There's something about guilt here. Do not feel guilty. But guilt may come up, okay? It's a normal thing. You've taken the first step in undoing control, conditioning, and manipulation from this overarching energy in your life. This is like the energy of like one of your earliest authority figures, okay? So from at times you may feel guilt, or you may question whether you were doing the wrong thing or whether you're being too harsh. No, the answer is no. Think about all the years. Something about my throat chakra. And for a couple of days now, I've like, every time I swallow, I feel like there's something still in my throat, to the point where I questioned if I'm getting sick. But a lot of you, this is throat chakra unblockings. You've had a throat chakra blocking. A lot of you have not known how to speak up because you've never been allowed to speak up. The mother has not allowed you to speak up. You're finding your voice, or you're using your voice. You've always had a voice, but you've not known how to use it, and you're just using it. You're figuring it out as you go. And other people, the mother is not happy about it. You don't need to keep the peace unless it serves you. If keeping the peace means keeping your peace, right? If it's a safety thing and it's protecting you and yours, you and your family, then that is a decision that you get to make. That's the beauty of it now. It's up to you. You decide. What do I do next? How do I handle this? I don't know. How do you want to handle it? Spirit's saying it's up to you. You call the shots. Some of you are going to have a hard time making these decisions because you've never been allowed to make decisions. You've never had the inner authority and the inner autonomy to make decisions because of the mother hasn't allowed you. The mother has expected you to be independent, but hasn't allowed you true independence. Codependence. The mother has enforced codependence upon you since you were a child. Disguised as independence. I'm going to leave it there because that is powerful. You're asking what's next. Spirit's saying, you tell me.